times. Yeah, 'tis the season, so get with it. Power 95.1 with the spirit.
Spirit of the season with Power 95.1. Celebrate Christmas with a reason with Power 95.1.
Merry Christmas to you and yours from Power 95.1, the spirit of the season. The views expressed in the following program aren't necessarily those of Power 95. Ladies' Room comes to you compliments of Renwick and Thompson Limited and Beacon Insurance.
When you get to a certain age, different things drive you. Like the anticipation of a new adventure, the comfort of having friends who've become family, or just enjoying that journey to the next destination. At Beacon, we've given our 50-plus drivers more value and greater convenience with hassle-free sign-up, flexible payment plans, and free benefits. Call us at 440-4447 or log on to beacongrenada.com for a quote today. And let us help you keep doing what drives you.
2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6.
Education multiplies their chances and places the world of opportunity in their hands. No matter where they are in the world, make sure they're prepared for their journey back to school with Western Union. School fees, books, room and board, whatever the reason. Knowledge, independence, opportunity. Western Union, moving money for better.
Back in the room again for another one with 14 more days to go until it's Christmas. Good morning, everybody. Hope all is well. Everybody's in good spirits and good health and, just ready to take on this day. Happy to be in the land of the living, especially when you lose someone. Really makes you take a good hard look at yourself and reminds you of how fleeting life can be and how much time we waste on nonsense. So again, just want to take the time out to extend condolences to my brother on the passing of his wife. Just 35 years, with 3 beautiful children. Imagine 6-year-old, 10-year-old, 15-year-old having to go through life without, their mother. My heart literally breaks for them, You normally see men as being strong, but when you see your blood breaking down to the point you don't know what to do or how to even help them. How do you help somebody that, is going through pain, and it's not something that you're prepared for, the person was ill and, anytime now, just suddenly, with no warning, person is here, then they're gone. How do you prepare for that? How do you console someone? How do you let somebody going through something like that know it's going to be okay, especially with children involved? Yeah, it's been a rough, weekend started off amazing, and then yesterday, out of nowhere, said it wasn't a case of knowing the person is ill. Just got a call not feeling well. That's it. So, I don't know. There just seems to be a lot of sudden deaths these days. People are just falling down. And I really don't know, Seems to be quite a few of that these days. So like I was saying in my office jams this morning, maybe this year what we can do is give somebody the gift of a checkup. I was talking about Goshen doing all these different ultrasounds, and normally we give colognes, we give money, we give gadgets. How about we give somebody the gift of a checkup? Go check, whether it's gynecology for your fibroids, whether it's obstetrics, whether it's your heart, whether it's, thyroid, testicular, prostate, breasts, whatever. How about we give somebody a gift card to go check yourself out? Because you don't necessarily have to fall sick. You don't have to feel unwell. You could be good today, like literally good. You're feeling good. And then boom, something happens. And like I said, when it's that close, when it hits that close, it really makes you stop and think, about your whys and what are you doing here and how you giving your time to life and the things you're giving your time and energy to. And if we really, stopped and checked, we really, really, give our attention to a lot of nonsense, things that have no meaning, that adds no meaning to our lives, that does absolutely nothing for us. We give it more of our time than things that actually do. People who we need to invest that time in, we use it on other things and other people that's not even that important in the grand scheme of things. So it really, really makes you stop and think, about your direction and where you're going and your legacy and what you leave behind and, what you're looking forward to. And with the coming of a new year, I'm sure we all have plans. Fingers crossed, we hope that we're going to enter 2024, but nobody knows, because I'm sure she had a lot of plans to bring in the new year. But they always say the Most High knows best, But I just want to take this time to just encourage us all to do more and be more with our nows and be more, invested in ourselves and, to the things that really matter. Let us make it make sense. Now is all we have. Now is all we'll ever have. And how much are we actually doing with the now we have? There's more to do, and now is when we can. It's all we got. Now comes with opportunity. So we have to be careful as we go through life not to turn it into regrets. Now is what we all have in common. Not next week, not tomorrow. Now is what we all have in common. We all have the same 24 hours. All the grudge and the hate and the bad vibes because you see somebody seemingly doing well. What is it for? What is the point? Like, how does that make you better? Instead of using that person as an example, as a motivation to want to do well yourself, you prefer to sit, feel sorry for yourself, and hate on that person for taking, the necessary steps to better their lives, better their lot. We sit and hate and envy and have the worst to say. And what is it for? The sun shines now, the wind blows now, everything happens now. Now is what fills our life, but that just does not seem to be enough for a lot of people. We just invest so much in things that don't concern us, things that we can't even take to the bank, that can't better our lives in any way, shape, or form. We're just so invested in another person's life. I don't get it. If we were to take that same energy and invest it in our own lives, we can do so much, because I remember going on Friday to that new breakfast spot, and one of the servers said to me, listen, you have no idea how much times I'm cursing people out for you. And I'm like, really? Because I remember her face, but I don't know her like that. And I'm like, why though? And she was like, oh, I just don't like to see how people say stuff about. I'm like, listen, if I'm not giving it my attention and my energy, please don't. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, looking out for me or cursing people out for me. But I'm like, you can't stop and pelt stones behind every dog that barks at you. You literally will not get to your destination if you do that. Because trust me, potholes are a lot. They're plenty. If you go through a village, almost every yard has 2, 3, 4. And imagine going through a village and every house you have to pick up stone and pelt. You're not going to get where you're going. So I'm like, I appreciate it, but it's not necessary, because these are people just, it's a deflection tactic. It's what they're going through, so they project. And a lot of times, if you were to look at the people who are doing all of this, their lives, it's not even, They're not even Bill Gates status. They're not even Oprah Winfrey. It's literally sad. But they take that time to peddle misinformation, lies, anything to make you look bad, to discredit you, hoping that, you know what, if people don't like you, it'll make them feel better. And I don't get how that works. Because you can't tell people who to like and why to like them. People like people for different reasons. So if you ever find yourself in a position having to defend me or defend somebody else, it's not even worth the time or the energy. Trust and believe, because it's tiring. Because when you defend from one, here comes another, and here comes another. And you can't waste your time doing that, because what you have to do is actually pray for those people. It sort of makes them think that, okay, if I project or if I ignore what I am going through, it will make it seem better. But it doesn't. Wherever you go, there you are. You have to deal with whatever is going on in your own life. So as much as you try to push a particular narrative, or as much as you try to attack somebody, you still have to deal. So the time that you're taking to do whatever to other people, if you were to stop and just be like, okay, look yourself hard in the mirror and find out where you're going wrong. How can you make your life better? How can you do certain things differently? All the hate and dislike you're carrying, or you're taking with you, all that burden that you're carrying for somebody, let it go. Honestly, let it go. It's not worth it. And take it from me when I say it's not worth it. When you get to a place of peace, listen, there's no amount of money in the world that can buy peace. When you get to a place of, and I wish that for everybody, to get to a place filled with peace, where you don't worry too much, you don't stress about other people, you don't take on other people's problems. What you can't control, you just let it be. Because worrying about it is not going to fix the problem. What you can do is look for ways to deal with the problem instead of worrying about the problem. Because all the worry you worry, it's still going to be there. The problem is not going anywhere unless you take the time to deal with it, figure it out, and then move on. Sometimes you spend days, weeks worrying about the same thing. And if a lot of us don't realize, sickness loves a body that is in a state of stress. Cancers feed off stress. So you're actually making yourself sick worrying, because your immune system gets a beating. You're not eating properly, you're not resting properly. And that's when, sickness and other things decide, yep, now is the perfect time to strike. The year is coming to an end shortly. And I want a lot of you to just sit and have a conversation with yourself and ask yourself, what did I really achieve this year? What did I do this year? Apart from going on social media and looking for statuses to figure out what's happening in other people's lives and other people's relationships. What did I achieve? What did I do that makes sense? Have I moved from point A to point B, or am I still at point A? For how many years? I've not made one move. That is what I want a lot of us to sit and do. Well, not us, because I do it every day. Have you grown? Have you matured? Are you a better person? Are you still the same person? I really hope that you guys will sit and think about it. There's nothing impossible. We're not machines. And it's, there's one thing that I hate, absolutely hate hearing people say, Soadi. No. You choose to be that way. You're not a machine. And even machines, you can program them. You can make twitch things here and there and get it to work the way you want it to. So that is just an excuse for you being the way you are. And stop blaming it on your horoscope. Or I'm an Aquarian, or I'm a Virgo, and that's how we did. No, that's how you choose to be, and that is an excuse for you being the way you are. Stop making excuses for being who you are, and go about finding ways to change it. Everybody is capable of change. Everybody is capable of change. Everybody. So stop using that as an excuse oh, I can't change, oh, that's how I am, and so are they. Take it or leave it. You're doing yourself a disservice. You're setting yourself back when you put yourself in that box, when you label yourself as so are they, and take me or leave me so. Where is the growth? The person you were last year, you should not be that same person this year or the year before. And if you are, that means your focus is not in the right place. So, just wanted to share that with you guys, and let's all try and be better. Let's all try and be better. Yeah? We could. It takes nothing from us to try. It's better to try and fail than. Kevin says, church yesterday, have you motivated today? Kevin, I didn't go to church. I haven't been to church in a minute. I do my own church and I have my own conversations with God. And I try my best to, do that every morning. Say a word of prayer before I start my day and be happy to be 6 feet above ground, I've grown to have this attitude of gratitude where I appreciate everything, good, bad, ugly. And as someone said to me yesterday, when you get to that place, it's a powerful place to be, when you appreciate everything that comes. Because you have to understand that no 2 days are the same. It rains sometime, the sun shines sometime. You just have to go with the seasons and make it work. You just have to go with the seasons and make it work for you, and not be complacent and not be willing to change and, let's do better. That's my piece this morning. I know I could preach for the entire day, right? But I'm happy that you guys are appreciating it. We all need it sometimes. You say even the motivator needs motivating sometimes, and even the strong need strength. So let's try our best to pour into each other. As much as people might seem to have it together, nobody has it together. No. People have a better way of pretending than others, putting on a good face every day, but not everybody has their ish together. So if we would only try harder to pour into each other, life would be better. Anyways, moving on. Good morning, guys. Did I say good morning? I just went right into it, right? I just had to get it off my chest. But anyways, happy to have you here. Good morning. Good morning, Jacqueline. Hope you had a good weekend. Sonia, good morning. Thank you so much, Sonia, for your support as always. Appreciate you. Good morning, my brother. Morning, Melvin. Morning, Lisa. Another sis. I've met some amazing people along this journey, and it's like not even family, literally strangers, And I really appreciate you guys. Good morning, Giads. Morning, Claudine. Debbie, good morning. I'm here for you. You know that, right? Good morning. Good morning, Rajesh. Good morning, Sonia. Good morning, Nikisha. Morning, Jenilyn. Marian, good morning. Arthur. Good morning, Mrs. Santa Claus. Trust you to make me laugh this morning. Thank you so much, Arthur. Good morning, Sarana. Good morning, Bibi. Good morning, Sheldon. Cindy, how are you? Good morning. Morning, Yvonne. Molly, good morning. And everybody else that's here. Nurse Sarana, good morning. Thank you so much. Sean Henry, good morning. Kevon, good morning. Glendolyn, good morning. Zingo, how are you, Zingo? Hope all is well. Jennifer Lagarde, good morning. Good morning, Roger Duncan. Happy holidays, everybody. But as I say, the show must go on, regardless of how I'm feeling, the show must go on. Talking about the show must go on, I'm happy that the post that we made this morning, people are actually taking it serious. And this is a real situation. I was talking to the person who sent it to me and, trying to give her some words. It's a real situation, and I'm happy that folks are actually giving advice, and that's pertinent to what we're discussing. And it's something that a lot of women have to do. We have to dumb down ourselves to fit into a particular narrative. And I always say, why can't we just be ourselves? Why can't we just support each other in the good and the bad times? Because isn't that what marriage is about? Like two becoming one. When you're down, the person pulls you up, and vice versa. So this person says after almost 2 decades, she feels like her marriage is coming to an end. She says her husband and I met when I was down and out, struggling to make ends meet. I was a single mother with no formal education. We struggled together, built together, got to a comfortable point where I was able to do subjects privately, attend college, and uplift myself. Over the years, I've moved from job to job, struggling to fit in, but could never feel as if I belong. With his help and support, I was able to start my own business, which is doing pretty well. And this is where our problem started. It seems that my financial independence has awakened or have caused all his insecurity to surface, to the point where I am feeling like a prisoner in my own home just to avoid word wars. I should mention that I am 15 years his junior. I can't leave this house and go out with him without being accused of going out and looking for man. I am constantly being reminded of where I came from. I have asked that we seek help, but he refused, saying he doesn't want people in his business. I love my husband and believe in fighting, but lately it has taken a toll on me to the point where I am now having anxiety attacks. I am tired of all that they say and feeling as if I have to limit myself to avoid confusion. How do I get the help that we need if he won't accept it? Well, one thing I've realized, and I often say you can bring a horse to the water, but you can't force it to drink. And you can try and try and try, but at the end of the day, sometimes you got to save yourself. That might sound harsh, it might sound selfish, but you can't allow somebody else to take you down with them and drown with them. What's the point of the both of you drowning when you're able to save yourself? It makes no sense. And look at what Jack did on the Titanic. Although Rose was, there was enough space on that boat for the raft or whatever they were on for Jack to pelt his head over. But he saved Rose, which makes no sense because, like I said, there was enough room for both of them. But anyways, Jack went down, Rose stayed up. So sometimes you have to save yourself. And I always use the analogy of being in an airplane. And the air hostesses always say, case of emergency, put on your mask and make sure that you're secured, whatever, before you assist anybody else. So if you feel like you're drowning and you're feeling like you're losing yourself, and the person that you're dealing with, they don't see that, and they rather remain in that position of insecurity, what can you do? Because it reeks of insecurity. Because to me as a husband, I would be super proud knowing where my wife came from, and look at her now, excelling, has her own business, which benefits the family. We seem to have this notion that if we're in a relationship, that everywhere the other partner goes, we have to be. No. Allow each other to breathe on their own, to have friends on their own. If you have concrete evidence that the person is stepping out on the relationship or cheating, that's a different matter. But it's just because you see that person, they're in a better position now financially, so the things they could not have done before, they can do it now, like buy a new outfit, get their hair done, get their nails done. Why would you be upset at somebody elevating? Why would you be upset at your wife looking good? Again, there comes the insecurity, because you probably think, oh, now she's doing well, she probably will go look for a next man. But why does it have to be if you're doing your duty, if you're a good husband, you're supportive and all of that? If she chooses to do that, that's on her. It doesn't matter what you're saying. If she chooses to step out, you can step back and be like, okay, that's on you. You're not carrying her cross or bearing her burdens. But why would you feel a type of way based on the story that she's now grown, or maybe you think she's gotten too big for the relationship, and that sense of, that financial independence has given her a sense of independence as well? and self confidence. Because trust me, when you're broke, and you have money that make you feel like you're on top of the world, but imagine when you're broke. That could batter your self confidence. But when you have a little money, even if it's for one day, you feel like you're king of the world. So why would you be upset that she's doing good? Instead of being supportive, is she sneaking out? Is she going places that she's not telling you about? Then that's the problem. But what is the issue if your spouse wants to hang out without you? Simple, hey babes, I'm going out with Jack, Jill, Sarah, Penny, whoever the case might be. You rather see her. You know, there are some people who like to see you broke and hungry because that gives them authority over you. That gives them power over you because you rely on them to eat, roof over your head, clothes on your back. There are some people who like seeing people and they pretend, oh, well, I'm glad that you're doing well. No, there are a lot of people who love seeing you in a dependent state. Not independent, but dependent state. Depending on them for everything. So they're like the Lord and Savior over your life. Why would you be upset that she's 15 years is not a lot of time difference. There's still a lot you have in common, 15 years older than you. So I'm not sure if the age is what's responsible for his insecurity. Suddenly he figures that, you know, hey, I'm older than you, you're younger, you're now looking good, younger man will want you. So voice what exactly are your concerns. Sit and talk about it. But if you're deciding that, hey, I have to dumb down myself and go back to where the person I was when you met me, that's a problem. Because like I said earlier on, you're supposed to grow. The person you were last year, you should not be the same person this year. And the fact that she's asking to seek help, get some sort of counseling, and you're refusing out of, you don't want people in your business. Listen, if it gets to a point, all man for themselves, then it's going to be all man for themselves. You're going to have to paddle your own canoe. You're going to have to do it yourself. There are people who take pleasure in controlling their spouse. And if the person is saying to you, listen, I don't like the direction we're going, we need to sort this out, let's talk, let's get somebody, let's get some therapy, let's get some counseling, and you're refusing on the grounds of I don't want people in my business, you all have a problem. Because it seems as though this person loves problems and not peace. Because if you're trying to find a way to bring peace and some sense of stability to the relationship, and you'd rather not do it because you don't want people in your business, it's not like you're going with a loudspeaker and or driving around the community and saying, me and Jack are problems. No, you're going to a counselor or a therapist who cannot divulge any information to anybody. It's supposed to be confidential. Who are the people you're talking about? Like, you ain't going to the marriage and the parish. You ain't going to stand up before the church and confess and open yourself to the congregation. You're going to one person who is supposed to be confidential. So that is just an excuse. The man up in his feelings because you're now in a comfortable place and he ain't too happy with that because that means he's losing control. And when people do what people do when they lose control, that's when you see the narcissistic tendencies starting to show their head. And they start to remind you, remember where you came from. When I met you with one shoe and one dress and a t-shirt full of hole to bring you down to size. Anybody that's doing that, I'm sorry. Because to see somebody work so hard to get themselves out of this position to be in another position, to elevate, and you're referring to their past, to cut them down to size, that's not nice. That is not nice. Jackie says I could write a book, trust me, but I'm a very strong woman, so I don't let nobody make me feel no way about myself. Listen, I'm telling you, you have to be. because they could beat every ounce of strength you have out of you if you allow them. Beat and suck every ounce of strength. And you wanting peace and wanting, stability, you would comply, literally comply, to avoid certain things. And in the process, you're falling apart. So like I said, if it comes to a point where you have to save yourself, you have to save yourself. Mel says he should be happy that his wife is independent and self-motivated. What he has to do is be her support. Mel, if only. I don't know, what does some of y'all really want though? Y'all complain when women are dependent on you. We're gold diggers. We can't fend for ourselves. We're claiming to be independent, but we're draining you guys. But when you actually are that person, it's still a problem. Like, it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Sometimes you really got to be careful who you give your energy to. I'm telling you, man. Someone says, since he doesn't want to go to counseling, then have an honest conversation with your husband about how you're feeling and what is causing you to feel that way. Reassuring him of his position in your life and your love for him. See if he changes. However, if no changes, cut your losses and move on. But be prepared for what's to come if you decide to go that route. Because he feels like he made you, so he's not going to go down without a fight. This person says, so the power dynamic of your relationship changed. He was always the one on top, the provider, the one with the money, and therefore the one with the control. Since you would have had to rely on him and ask for the things you needed, now he can't handle that you are equals, or he's doing what he's accusing you of. No reason to put yourself through torture. I'm no marriage expert, so I do wish you the best with the choice you make. Since he doesn't want help, remember your happiness and emotional well-being matter. Someone says men and their ego. He wants the broken woman that has to depend on him. Not this independent woman who doesn't need him. Someone says either lie and give him what he wants or leave. Let me see what this person is saying. Oh wow, that's the time already. Another person says, like, man scarcing Renita. All women here posting about toxic relationships and narcissistic men. Talking about they in love. Look for a way out, not a way to fix. And that comes from a man. Someone says, sad and such a true scenario. Many women can relate to this. Know this, sisters. Confident woman and an insecure man will never enjoy a healthy relationship. He thinks he has lost his power as she is no longer the dependent, needy female. Conversely, I trust she has not made him feel emasculated with her newfound independence and confidence. No matter what, the man must always made to feel valued and needed, even if we become more educated and more financially stable in the relationship. We have to manage this delicately. That's also a good. Yeah, because that could be the other side of the coin as well. I'm taking care of myself. I don't need you. This is a very sad situation. I think he's feeling now that you've uplifted, you might want someone different to him. He's trying to prevent it before it happens. But the end, where you came from, is not sitting right with me. It's like he's uplifting you financially, but breaking you down emotionally. Too many people are caught in situations like these. It's never something that's been expected. You need help, you get help. You get punished for help being helped. I pray they find a way out of this bondage, both of them. Finally, this person says he's probably insecure because she's no longer dependent on him, and the age difference also has a lot to do with it. She said they've been together almost 2 decades, and there's a 15-year difference in age. That means he must be a little down in age, and she's still young, but she loves him and wants to make it work, so she just needs to find a way to make him understand there's no need for his insecurities. It's another good one as well. This person says it's not getting better. Sometimes as women, we forget ourselves to ensure our men are always comfortable. But remember, most men really care about themselves first. When they're finished satisfying themselves, anyone or anything else can be satisfied. Focus on you. Everybody that comes with you can't go with you. Some people come in our lives for a season. Appreciate that season and prepare yourself mentally and emotionally for the other season of your life. You've come too far to fall back now. He clearly doesn't want help. When men want something, they go out and beyond for it. Nothing or no one can stop them, so there's your hint. Keep it moving. Thank the man for his help. Support him when and if you can, but that relationship has definitely ended. See it for what it is. You may want it, but the real question is, does he? It takes two people to make a relationship work. That's why it worked in the beginning. But now, not now, because you're in it alone. Wake up, it may be tough, but sometimes you gotta let it go. That's a lot of really good comments, and I hope the person is reading them and take it for what it's worth. At the end of the day, it is your decision to make. Can't tell you to leave, can't tell you to stay. You have to decide what it is you want. Yeah? Wish you the best, and I hope you guys can come to an amicable solution. Anushka, good morning. Says men love down bad woman as soon as they start doing for themselves, start feeling like they're losing their power. Keep talking to him. Hopefully he'll come around, you know? And maybe you need to, if you really want it, to reassure him some more that it's not what he thinks it is. You're in for the long run, good, bad, and ugly. And hope it works. Guys, thank you so much for powering up this morning. I will see you guys tomorrow. Listen, tomorrow's scenario, tomorrow's situation is not one you guys want to miss. I was reading this with my mouth like, and names were called that I had to edit, and it's people that y'all doing a lot on the rock. Y'all are doing a lot on the rock. Y'all don't want to miss tomorrow. Tomorrow is what you call spicy. Y'all need to live your truth. That's all I'm gonna say. That's who you are. That's what you are. That's. Anyways, we shall reconvene at 11 a.m. in the forenoon tomorrow. Have a great Monday, everybody, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.